Viridian, the Green Guide by My Head in the Clouds, Not Coming Down, a Boku no Hero Academia fanfic. Chapter 33, Conviction. After his stupid confession during the last meeting, Katsuki was fully expecting Ogawa to never talk to him again. It just made sense, since hanging around someone like him would only drag the others down, when they were trying to be better. So Katsuki was understandably a little bit angry when that damn idiot waved him over with a giant grin on his face the moment he walked through the door. He stormed over to Ogawa, who was sitting next to Maki and Akido, just like the last few times, and barely avoided the habit of grabbing him by the shirt to be intimidating. Instead, he glared down at him. "What the fuck are you doing? After last time, I thought it was pretty clear that I'd just drag you down. Go find someone else to bother, you damn moron." Ogawa just laughed and stood, throwing a hand around Katsuki's shoulder. "Man, you must have some wires crossed or something, Bakugo, because that wasn't clear at all. Maybe you need to work on your communication skills." "What happened last time?" Akido asked as she popped a piece of bubblegum into her mouth. Ogawa smiled cryptically. "We solved a mystery." "Oh, I like mysteries." Maki leaned forward in his seat eagerly, an action that was slightly intimidating due to his size. "What mystery did you solve?" "None of your goddamn business." Katsuki threw Ogawa's arm off him. "Now leave me alone, you stupid extras." He started to stalk away, but stopped in his tracks when he heard Ogawa's voice behind him. "We discovered why Katsuki volunteered to be here." Katsuki froze. He didn't know what he was expecting. Yeah, it wasn't like he told Ogawa to keep it a secret, but he thought it was implied. Not that he actually said anything yet, but he probably would. How would the other two react? How would Amplifier think if she overheard? What if she told UA? What if his own idiocy ruined any chances of him being the best hero? Katsuki should have kept his mouth shut. "Why are you so stressed, Bakugo?" Akido laughed. "We already figured out you'd done something sketchy. What does it matter if Ogawa knows what it is?" "Shut up! You don't know shit." "Hey, calm down, man." Ogawa put a hand on his shoulder. "I'm not gonna tell them anything if you don't want me to, but I really think you should tell them. It'll help." Maki nodded. "Take it from me. Having people in your corner makes all the difference in a fight." "Yeah, and keeping secrets aren't gonna do you any favors," Akido added. "If you go into a heist with incomplete information, you're gonna get people killed. If you want our help, you gotta be honest." "I didn't ask for your help." Katsuki flexed his hands, as much to ground himself as to be intimidating. Only weak people needed help, and Katsuki couldn't be weak if he wanted to be a hero. He had to do this alone, even if it wasn't possible. Ogawa squeezed the hand on his shoulder. "You may not have asked for our help, but even you can admit that it'll make things easier. This is a rehabilitation group for a reason. No one should have to go through this alone." Katsuki scowled. Maybe Ogawa had a point, but he still didn't deserve their help. They are the ones that needed their arrest records wiped, and they couldn't afford to get dragged down by a stupid, cruel grade school bully. "All right, everyone." Amplifier's quirk-amplified voice echoed around the room. "It's time to start. Go ahead and find your seats." Katsuki made to stalk off to stand against the wall, but Ogawa grabbed his arm and dragged him into the chair right next to him, then leaned over to mutter in his ear. "We'll talk about this later, but just think about it, okay?" Katsuki scoffed and rolled his eyes, then folded his arms and slouched in his seat as Amplifier began the meeting. He didn't deserve their help anyway. He couldn't say anything. "Today, each of you are going to make a personal commitment to change," Amplifier said. "It's one thing to say you're going to change because the government is making you, but it's another thing entirely to make the commitment to yourself." "Yeah," Maki whispered to him. "Real change comes from within. Nobody is going to force you to be something else." "Shut up," Katsuki hissed back. "I don't need your stupid help." Amplifier either couldn't hear their whispered argument, or, more likely, decided to ignore it. "All right, Bakugo, would you help me pass out some papers?" Katsuki grunted an affirmation and stood up, grateful to get away from the group of villains that had apparently decided to adopt him. He grabbed his stack of blank notebook paper that Amplifier had gestured to from the table and started handing everyone a few sheets as Amplifier passed around a cup of mismatched pens. Even though he was helping and doing the volunteer work he was technically there for, Katsuki still felt like shit. It wasn't his fault the stupid paper reminded him of Doku's stupid notebooks, which reminded him of stupid Doku and all the other stupid extras he heard over the years. All the more reason not to get too close to anyone here. If he didn't get close to Ogawa and the others, he couldn't hurt them. Once everyone had some papers and a pen, Amplifier gestured to Katsuki to sit back down. Unfortunately, she gestured toward the same seat next to Ogawa that he'd just gotten up from, so he didn't have any excuse to distance himself. He glared at her, and she shot him a smile. That bitch definitely knew what she was doing. He huffed and slumped down heavily as Amplifier went to the front of the room. Okay, so this is an individual exercise, but you're welcome to talk among yourselves if you want. Amplifier grinned at Ogawa, who was grinning back. You're going to write a letter. This can be to yourself or someone important to you, or to no one at all. But in this letter, you're going to commit to be better. Be as sincere as you can in your conviction. Don't make any promises you don't actually want to keep. Everybody ready? Begin! No wonder they always recruit her to announce stuff. Akido popped her bubblegum loudly. She does it without even trying. She might be just so used to being an announcer because of her quirk that she talks that way out of habit, Ogawa suggested. You got a point, Akito admitted. If only we lived in a world where you weren't typecast based on our quirks. I'll drink to that, Maki laughed. So kid, who are you gonna write to? Katsuki scowled. Who says I'm gonna write anything at all? You're only shooting yourself in the foot if you don't, man, Ogawa pointed out. These exercises are supposed to help us all become better. You can't just not do the work and still expect to reach your goals. Why the fuck are you extras so set on helping me? Katsuki griped. I'm not a good person. Neither are we, kid. Maki set a giant hand on his shoulder. That's kind of the point. Yeah, Bakugo, none of us are gonna win the Person of the Year or anything. Akido shrugged. That's why we gotta be there for each other, right? We have to have somebody to trust in this crazy, messed up world, right? Katsuki scowled and glared at all three of them. But the most annoying part of all this was that they seemed so sincere, like they actually thought he could be better or something. But, well, maybe Akido had a point. Both her and Ogawa had become villains because important people in their lives had pushed them towards it. And Katsuki would have realized how horrible he was earlier if it wasn't for his stupid teachers and classmates always telling him he was the best. Maybe if he had some people who are also assholes trying to be better, then that might not be the worst thing in the world, right? He huffed and grabbed a pen. Whatever. Who are you gonna write to? My ex. She grinned savagely. It's basically gonna be a giant screw you, you know? Katsuki found himself laughing along with the others. Yeah, fuck him, I guess. What about you guys? I'm gonna write to my dad, Maki said. He died a couple years back, and I didn't get to see him while he was in the hospital because I was in prison. Not cleaning up my act in time for him to see it is probably one of my biggest regrets. Obviously, a letter's not gonna fix anything, but it seems fitting, you know? You guys are all picking meaningful people, Ogawa pouted, and I'm over here just writing to myself. Katsuki hit him over the head. Shut up. You're trying to be better because it's what you want, right? So why would you write your stupid commitment to anyone else? Idiot. Ogawa blinked a few times. I hadn't thought of it like that. Man, I guess writing to myself isn't as silly as I thought, huh? Of course it isn't. Maki smiled gently. It's your conviction, isn't it? I guess so, Ogawa laughed. So what about you, Bakugo? Who are you gonna write to? Katsuki thought about it for a minute. His first thought was to write a letter to All Might, but that didn't seem right somehow. Yeah, he wanted to be like All Might, but he was a celebrity that Katsuki had never met. If he was gonna write to someone else, it needed to be someone personal, someone that he wanted to be better for. Someone like Doku. Doku? Katsuki frowned. You got some weird friends, Bakugo. What kind of person names their kid useless? His parents didn't give him that name. Katsuki didn't meet anyone's eyes. I did. I don't get it, Maki said. Is he your little brother or something? No. Shit. Katsuki hissed. You know how you guys were talking about being typecast because of your quirk? Yeah. Akido looked at him strangely. What does that have to do with anything? Katsuki sighed. How do you think a quirkless kid would be cast? Her eyes widened as she put the pieces together. Oh. He was the kid that you bullied, wasn't he? Ogawa asked gently. One of them, Katsuki grumbled. But Doku got the worst of it. We used to be friends before our quirks came in, but mine was strong. Everybody said it was perfect for being a hero. And I guess they all bent over backwards so I wouldn't get in trouble for any of the shit I pulled. I don't know what I was thinking, but he was supposed to be weaker than me. So for some reason I was convinced I had to put him in his place. He ended up dropping out of school because of it. Whoa, Maki breathed. No one ever stopped you? Katsuki chuckled humorously. Why would they? Doku was just a quirkless weakling. He couldn't bring fame or honor to the school, so why would it matter if a kid like that got a few bruises or burns? Honestly, my teacher probably needs these classes more than you guys do. Have you seen him recently? Akito asked. Since you started coming here? Katsuki shook his head. I'm not even gonna try to seek him out until I'm ready to apologize and actually mean it. Anything else would just hurt him even more, and I feel like I've done that enough already. So that's what you'll write. Ogawa smiled and clapped Katsuki on the back. You tell this kid that you're going to be a better person so that one day you can make amends in person. He pushed the piece of paper towards him, and Katsuki glanced at everyone's faces before he started to write. Their expressions were weird, almost like they were proud of him or something. He must be imagining things. Dear Doku, I'm going to be the best hero. You know that I've never let a little work keep me from being the best. So I'm not going to let this hold me back, okay? I'm going to be a better person so I can stand in front of you and apologize for all the stupid shit I put you through. I'm going to work so fucking hard because I promise you that I'm going to be the best hero. And I intend to keep that promise. Got it? If I'm really serious about being better, I should probably get rid of that stupid nickname, shouldn't I? I'm going to be the best hero, Izuku. See you as soon as I can. Kachen.